You're listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more.
Well, man, this is your boy Al Mega. Welcome to a brand new Comic Crusaders podcast. And today, we're talking some awesome independent creation over here, a boss in the business, an artist, a creator, an entrepreneur. My man is out there with a fire project that's live on Kickstarter right now called Dungeon Degenerates. Hey, so wow. My man been behind some stuff called Pork. You want to learn about all this stuff? We're going to learn about that, all that pernil and all that good stuff, baby. Let me bring the big boss, the big homie over here, the star himself, Mr. Sean Aaberg. Wepa, how you doing today, homie?
Yeah, pretty good. How are you doing, Al?
I am doing wonderful. Thank you for coming out to the show to talk about, your journey and, of course, this fire project that you got live right now on Kickstarter. I mean, folks, listen, we're halfway there on the project, and a salute to all those backers. But, before we start showing that off, the awesomeness of that project, if you will, we got to get into that chit chat because I wanted to reel it back just a tad, if you will. I need to know what Big Sean Aaberg is all about. Where you from originally, and most importantly?
I'm from Oakland, California.
Oakland OG?
Yep.
Born and raised, man?
Born and raised.
All right, wonderful. And what was the first thing in fandom that you ever fell in love with?
I think God. Black and White Ninja Turtles, probably.
Okay, Ninja Turtles was the first you fell in love with. What was it about the turtles?
I liked, especially like especially if I felt like with the original series, like the Eastman Laird ones from Mirage, like the black and whites. They took that sort of, pardon my Ku Klux, underground energy and just amped it up for the 80s, I guess. Okay. Made it translatable because I was like used. I saw my friends' parents had stuff like Fabulous Freak Brothers and our comics and stuff like that. And like,
okay. Oh man.
When you're a kid, you don't really care about this stuff, and I cared about ninjas and mutants and weird crap like that, especially like when I was 10, 9 or whatever. So yeah, I think so. I think that Ninja Turtles probably was the biggest one. I also liked early X-Men and Spider-Man and stuff like that.
So you were a Marvel guy.
Yeah, but also like I wanted more from them. I knew there was like a lot more available, like in terms of what you could actually do with a comic book.
Excellent, of course. All right, so were you alone in your fandom growing up, or did you have kind of a tribe of geeks?
No, I had a bunch of friends who were into it, like, but we were also into stuff like the Dr. Demento show and Weird Al and Mad Magazine and stuff like that. So like,
I loved Mad as a kid.
There was a whole like pile of stuff, and like basically all my friends, there were probably like 10 kids, were all into it simultaneously. And then we all got more serious and got into Ninja Turtles, which is still not serious, but it was more serious than the other stuff.
All right. So what led to the creative path that you started going on? Was it the Turtles that inspired you to move forward? Like, when did you start doing stuff on a creative level? Like to want to do something with it?
I think I really, it happened simultaneously. I had, I started drawing when I was really, really young, but when I got serious about it, I realized that I started going through puberty when I was 10, and my grades started to dip, plummet. And as my grades dipped, my art started getting better. And so I was just like, yeah, I'm just going to do the art stuff. And, people pay more attention to you doing art than your good grades, or at least the girls that I wanted to be paying attention to me were paying more attention to me doing art than good grades.
Oh man, Sean Aaberg was a pimp back in the day in the school. Is that what you're saying here? Hey.
No, not really, but trying.
All All right. So, what was the first big opportunity you got then in your craft?
Um, I did stuff like my first zine. Like I did a zine when I was started doing it when I was 12,
All right.
and I think that like unlocked the idea that I could actually do the stuff myself, and I didn't have to like, get permission from someone else to do it. But then I worked for the yearbook in middle school, and I worked for the yearbook again in high school, and I did high school newspaper illustrations and then cartoons and stuff like that. So I was constantly just trying to like figure out what's the correct vehicle for whatever situation I was in.
Okay.
And with schooling, it was that sort of stuff.
Excellent. Did you meet a tribe of creators there, or you really kept it dolo the whole time?
I think in high school it was just me and my best friend Danny were like the drivers for our zine, and I didn't really have many other partners at that point.
Okay. All right. All right. But so talk about then, getting out there and create, and putting that work out there and starting to get real work. I mean, what was that like? What was that craft? Were you building a team, or was it again just a solo effort the whole way?
I mean, the thing is, I met my wife when I was 22, I think. I'm now 47, and she's been basically like my partner slash manager. She's like got her shit was way like she's got her stuff way together more than me, and I'm together, but I recognize a good thing, and having my wife be the person that's actually in my corner in that way has really been beneficial. And so I did a lot of like illustration projects, solo art shows, shit like that, just as building stuff up. When we were living in Eugene, Oregon, and but I did a lot of commercial work. I worked for like Tofurky. I worked for some T-shirt companies. Whatever. I taught. I did a whole bunch of stuff, just hustling my ass off for like, I don't know. There was 10 years there where I was just hustling and trying to figure out what I was going to do. Trying to just trying to figure stuff out while I was on the floor or whatever.
Oh, wow. Oh man, so let's talk about that hustle though, man. How crazy is the hustle when you started?
God, I mean, basically, like I had to take, who E40 is?
Yes.
Rapper.
Yeah.
I took inspiration from him because he was like selling tapes out of the back of his car, and I was like, no white boys like approach anything like the hustle like in that way, especially like back then. Like I think hustle culture is more normalized now, but like back then it wasn't. And honestly, I didn't care because I was like, I went from going like, okay, I can't do this at all, and like to thinking that I was gonna have to go to jail or be homeless and just draw like on the streets or draw in jail because like I couldn't figure out how to make money from what I was doing, forever. But then I was like, hit the rock bottom and like went, okay, so I actually need to hustle and I need to approach the world in this way and be more shameless about promotion and just put myself out there in a way that wasn't like culturally acceptable for me to do. And that was, I don't know, that was 20 years ago and it worked, luckily.
Excellent. Well, there we go. So I want to let's start bringing this bad boy in because you've been doing a couple of things, but what led to what this is? What is before even bringing on actually? What is Dungeon Degenerates? What are we talking about here?
The original idea was to just I was back in the 2000 teens, which should have some I don't know easier word to say than 2000 teens. I was really disappointed with. I would go to the game store and like I had really young kids, right? I got 3 kids, and I just saw that the state of fantasy art and games and stuff was just bullshit, and I was like, this could be a lot better. And I was like, what draws me to a project was the art, like especially like early Warhammer back in the 80s, and I liked D&D back then, also like in the first and second and third editions. But I felt like their art got like, as it got better and better, the art got more polished. It lost its soul, and what I wanted to do was like basically take those fantasy tropes and inject the soul back into them, and just also drag them through the street, drag them through the gutter, really.
Love
So
it.
that was my initial idea, but that was like probably 2006 or so. And then we launched a Kickstarter for the board game that was in 2016, and it came out in 2017. And it's been an underground hit so far. And then I had a stroke in 2018, and I lost my ability to draw with my left hand. So then I was
wait. Reel it back. I'm sorry for your health issues. So you were a lefty to begin with?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So you had a stroke. I mean, what happened? Where were you? What
I mean, the doctors still haven't can't pinpoint a thing like on what actually gave me the stroke. I had a number of probably 5 things going for me or not going for me that were
wow,
contributors, but those things are mostly cleared up now.
and you've been well since, correct?
What?
You've been well since, correct?
Yeah.
Great, yeah, awesome.
Getting stronger. It's good. But yeah, I developed a totally meticulous and hard drawing style up until that point, because my whole intention at the point I was trying to draw things that were visually intimidating just by the amount of line work and doing pointillism in them and really small cross hatching and stuff, just trying to intimidate the audience, because I knew that if you draw simply, then the audience goes, I can do that. But if you don't draw simply, then the audience goes, I can't do that. And that was my whole intention, was to do something that they saw and they knew they couldn't do, at least as far as style goes. So then I was then I totally lost that ability, and I was okay, so what am I going to do now? I can't just retire. I can't just sit down, sit this out. And I was okay, so there's been a lot of false starts or things that have caught my eye and sort of giving me an idea about what I should be doing. But I've been doing it all the time. I've been doing pixel art and with my right hand with my computer, because I always be using my mouse with my right hand, not my left hand. And then I figured out that I could actually do the pixel art proficiently enough, and to do a video game. So I started coming up with ideas, and then out of the blue, we were contacted by this guy Chris at We Interactive to actually develop the game, and that was a year ago, and that's basically where we're at now. So it was perfect timing.
Dope. And before we continue, folks, check this out. We have a dope trailer for the Kickstarter project. I mean, the link is right there, all right, but it's also in the show notes. So let's check out this video real quick, all right?
I've never seen a magazine like this.
Never seen a board game like this.
I've never seen a book like this.
And you've never seen a video game like this. Hi friends, Katie from Goblin Co., the company that brought you Pork Magazine, Acid Vomit, and Dungeon Degenerates Hand of Doom, back with our 11th Kickstarter for our very first video game. The Battle for Brüttleburg is a narrative-heavy beat-em-up with RPG elements set in the same crazy world as Hand of Doom, but with a new story, characters, and monsters. We're aiming to bring the weird and vibrant aesthetic of Goblin Co. together with a retro video game feel and updated mechanics. You play as the juvenile delinquent Salt, the runt of a gang who has been thrown into the dungeon of Brüttleburg. Upon release, you look to get your low life back on track by checking in with various factions and avoiding others. But everything is upside down. You work with and against a variety of eccentric characters, gangs, social clubs, and a dazzling array of obnoxious monsters to make your way to the top of the city to see who is pulling the strings.
Wow, the teaser already looks so good. Thanks, and this is something we could do with no budget.
We're going to need some help with the next step. Crowdfunding through Kickstarter has allowed us to raise bigger project budgets than we ever could on our own. And the Battle for Brüttleburg is our most ambitious project yet.
And we're going to need some help from you.
That's right. Please back the campaign and share it with your friends. We need to get as many eyes as we can on this project so we can make the best possible version of this game.
As you know, we can't do this without you.
Thank you.
And there we go, folks. There we go, folks. That is all right. All right. The video's fire. All right. Now we're gonna get. Can I get this right? There we go. So many little boxes. But folks, check it out. Check it out. Big salute to you. 550 backers thus far. You know, with 16 days to go, that have raised out of a $64,000 goal, $31,850. So basically, the project is at 50%. Excellent, excellent, wonderful progress. You know, right in the middle of it. You know, let's make it happen. People are getting their tax returns, so don't give me no shit. All right. So talk words pictures here. Don't you love how Google works? I hate Chrome. So talk more about the project and development. I mean, and even working with homie. How is the journey like in creating the game itself?
It's been cool. Like I've learned a lot about the whole like structuring of the video games, because those is a thing that, you know, as a kid, I saw them as sort of like, you know, they just exist. You know, I didn't like understand that there was actually a structure to them, and it's been cool to actually figure out all the elements. And like Chris is like has been has been a really good teacher. Not even almost. He's just been a good teacher on this, and like sits down and patiently describes what the hell is going on and like what we need to do with the game. And you know, I already know like the elements of the story and, you know, characters and all that stuff and levels. You know, I know the basic outline, but I didn't know about all the how to do a whole like branching tree of information, just like, you know, stuff like that. That's I don't know, it's more game developer jargon, you know, bullshit.
Hey, a little bit beyond that level. Just get it done, guys. I have no clue what the fuck you're talking about, but so long as it's sexy. I mean, how did you feel when you started seeing, you know, some of these things yourself for the first time?
It's really cool to see them animated and moving around and stuff. Honestly, I've been trying to do a video game for the last, I think, since 2009 or so, and it's just like, you know, I mean, I can use the computer all right, but I can't program a video game at all. And I'm so used to being able to, like, you know, do every aspect of a project by myself, or understand it at least. And I'm thinking I'm at the point where like I'm trying to bring something to life where I understand how to do, you know, 50% of it or whatever. So yeah, it's been wild to see the stuff come to life. And, you know, I think watching it's really the potential. It's like making a movie where it's like, you know, you get an idea, you've got a certain skill set, you can, you know, come in there and do your best, but then it honestly just takes a team to actually build it up, you know, and make it come to fruition, I guess.
Man, look, I love it. Who are these characters? Who is this guy?
That's a Carney who looks like me like 10 years ago. But he's older than I am.
I love this. I mean, look at this. I mean, and Salt. And why the name Salt?
I wanted a 4-letter word for his name, and then I also like was looking at the alchemical elements, and alchemical salt is like, it's like salt of the earth. It's like basic, you know. So I wanted some character that's sort of like I wanted him to be, you know, I didn't want this to be like a big heroic fantasy. I want things to go from the base level, and so I guess we're starting with something as basic as that. I also drew a comic with a character with him about like 15 years ago, probably.
Oh, really? And what, as an individual or appeared within one of the zines?
No, it was in this like a, what do you call it, a anthology comic called
Okay.
Paper. Like I think it's sold out and out of print and stuff.
That's for the collectors out there. Good luck finding that.
And I actually invented the character initially as this character called Tafu, which is like the Japanese version of saying tough, for a t-shirt company, but then they didn't use him or it didn't like pan out. And I was like, okay, but this character is awesome. I need to do something with him. I just changed him around a little bit.
Excellent. I mean, and look at this. We got stretch goals, folks. We're trying to reach. I mean, and let's get into it because again, folks, you could pledge, $1 without a reward, just being, wonderful. For backers that only want the game, no physical add-ons, into the copy of the game, and the manual starts at $25, folks. All right, so you can start as low as that. The Street Rat, the Street. What are these differences there? What does that mean? You got Neighborhood Lump. I like that name. Street Rat, the Street Soldier, the Ruthless Villain, Original Gangster. I love the name. So these are actual characters in the game.
No, I mean I just made them up for the level.
The ultimate weapon.
They might end up as characters in the game, but there are a lot of gangs, so I just wanted to carry it out into the levels,
Oh, this is dope. So everybody gets a digital copy, deluxe packaging, pixel portraits for $700, name in the game, big. All right, 5 desktop backgrounds, a guidebook, minifigs, patches, pins, t-shirts, jeez, everything but the kitchen sink over here. Jeez, Sean, whereby making it all happen. And these early birds, none left. Everybody jumped on those bad boys. That's right. That's right. Because they know what a good thing. I mean, look at this. Wow. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, you got loot. You got all this good stuff. I mean, folks, look at that pendant. That looks like a lot of people when they wake up in the morning after a night of drinking, huh? Right? You know what I mean? I'm digging this. And what's up with the guide? Are you giving us like an old school style guide book over here, a little thick, not something that is 2 panels, 2 pages? What are you giving us here when you say the guide?
With the guidebook, I totally I was thinking about those guidebooks that you would buy for games back in the day.
Oh,
and,
yes.
With because like I recognize that people like are gonna figure out the strategies for the game online. They've got their forums and all that stuff, but I really wanted a game book guide that's sort of like got extra lore and stuff and comics and drawings, and I've just got so much extra old stuff based on Salt, and then I've also got a new illustrator lined up to actually do conventional illustrations for it.
Yeah,
but yeah, like, I was just thinking like I want this thing to be bigger, and not just a game, but like a whole bunch of other things that go along with it. I'm really inspired by like the successes of Nintendo back in the day, and like I'm just thinking back to stuff like with Pac-Man or Donkey Kong. There would be like, I don't know, 40 books that are bootlegs, just like how to play Pac-Man books, like how to play Donkey Kong, how to win a Donkey Kong, like variations on them. You get them in your school book order and stuff.
Yeah.
And so
you said a school book order. Oh man, I missed those days. There was some good shit back then, though.
Yeah, I just try to. I'm really, and I try to bring the good feelings that I had from from being a kid to the cultural things that I was exposed to kids now. Like, I know that times have changed, obviously, but I'm trying to bring up the best of what I can from back then towards now, like regardless of the fact that it's not the most efficient way or it's not the way that people are communicating with each other.
I am so digging this right here, though. They look so cool.
Thanks.
All this looks so dope. Your artistry, and that's the patch right there. Look at that.
Yep.
I'm telling you. Hey, pen, the T-shirt. Homie got it all. Oh my God! What is this? What? Woo!
That's your arcade cabinet.
I mean, a full size cabinet.
Yeah.
Full size, not that arcade one stuff. The full size.
So full size and also full depth. Not the they're trying to make them skinnier.
Yeah.
Because screens are not the whatever the cathode ray tubes or whatever. Like they've got smaller TVs now. And I was like, the thing has to be the right width or the right depth or whatever.
Man, they're not being friendly to people that may not be slim, and that's not nice, right? You know. You know, how dare they? You know, you got that's a lawsuit whenever it happened, and this is great. Wow, I love how that looks. That definitely looks so fire.
So yeah, I mean that's why we need all the money.
Ooh, look at that, yeah. I love that artwork though. That is so sick, son.
Thanks, man.
Oh my God. All right, so you're shipping everywhere on this bad boy?
Wait, what?
Are you shipping everywhere for this project?
Yeah, totally. I mean, we don't typically get orders from parts of the world that aren't, part of everything. Like, I don't know. I can't give you examples right now, but and then most of our fans are in America, but we've got people all over the world who's backing the stuff.
Well, I'm digging it, man. I love it. A beat 'em up RPG with an 8-bit retro flavor. I mean, and retro is what's in right now. I mean, right now, again, just because of how the better colors and all compared to back in the day, I think is why the retro looks so good now. I don't know if you've seen how, for example, Atari has updated some of the games. So, like Exvius, for example, I don't know if you remember that game. If you see them back in the day to now, like the ship looks better, the ground, everything's like wow. When they do that upscaling, it's pretty fucking cool. I'm digging it, and I'm excited about what you have here because this looks like it's gonna be hella fun again. And a beat 'em up, side scrolling, fucking 8-bit game. Fuck yeah, bro! Thank you for making something fun.
Awesome.
Something that people need. And folks, I have to show you again. Folks, let's go it up real quick. Let's go. Let me do a quick refresh. Because right now we have 553 backers, it said, right? We have 16 days to go. Out of 64,000, we're at 31,944. Let's make this happen, baby. There's a fire game, support independent creators, support independent creation. I mean, this is all levels. I mean, this is comics, this is board games, this is digital. He got it all. My man over here is a big boss that's been in the game for a minute, rocking it. So, and talking about being in the game for a minute, doing what you do, on the scale that you've done it. Do you have any advice for any up-and-coming creators trying to step in the game today?
I mean, you have to work your ass off. That's one. And then you also have to take the world seriously. Just know that it's real. And like what you're trying to do is in the real world. And it's not the world. I mean, you're dealing with ideas because it's art, but then you're dealing with the real world, like, which is not the world of ideas, and you just have to accept that world for what it is and accept the physical realities and accept where people are at and then figure out a way to deal with the stuff that's in your head and like how to make it integrate with the world of with the real world. And so it's like it's a dance between the totally unreal and the totally real. And I think that people either want all real and all real or all unreal and all unreal. that doesn't work. You have to have both. You have to have a combination of both. I think, and I think just knowing what people like and like paying attention to what people like, and also knowing what you like and expressing that from your heart, people really respond to that like intensely. They love. If you love something, they understand that immediately. Because you're not bullshitting them. You're not trying to sell them on something that's actually that you don't actually like or love or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that's my main advice. But really, it's just also there's the whole thing about 10,000 hours of drawing, and
yeah,
that's
I've
my
heard
advice for kids. Is you like to be good at anything, you have to do it for 10,000 hours. You're not going to be good immediately out of the gate. You have to do whatever it is. It could be drawing, it could be gardening, it could be talking to people, it could be whatever.
Cooking.
You have to do it. You just have to do it a lot. And it sucks when you're at the beginning and you're like, but I've got 200 hours in here. And you're looking at 10,000. You're like, oh shit, I have to go climb this thing. And like, yes, you do have to climb it.
Yes. So I love it. That's right. Yeah. You see that? And Big Sean doing his thing. Sean Aaberg. I mean, you can follow him at the Real Go Blinko, on the social. Show him some love, you know what I mean? But most importantly, I need you guys to support the Kickstarter that's live now with 16 days to go. So if you could please visit it. All right, Dungeon Degenerates, the Battle for Brüttleburg. Whereby, I mean, that's what it is an 8-bit side-scrolling, fun, action, smack, beat 'em up type of game. You need that de-stressor after work, and this is a type of project you want to back. I mean, and wonderful independent project, support indie, you know what it is. I mean, this is what's popping. Sean, thank you so much for hanging out with me today and talking about, your Kickstarter and, and what's going to be popping. I can't wait to what else you'll bring, once this kicks off. The further adventures of Dungeon Degenerates. Are we getting some more pork or what? Can you tease us? Anything else that you're working on after this?
Actually, I really want to. I'm supposed to only be working on this game for the next year or so I'm not trying to think too hard. But we've got a bunch of board game stuff planned out for Dungeon Degenerates, and then what I really want to do, like as a personal art project, is take my pixel art stuff and like figure out how to translate it into doing what do you call it? It'd be good if I could remember what the hell they're called.
It happens. Don't you worry, kiddo.
I guess it's a surprise, or a mystery.
Yeah.
God damn. My brain totally farted. But yeah, a bunch of stuff. I'm always busy, always trying to push stuff out there.
Excellent. So, any conventions that we could see you at? Are you doing any touring or just staying at home this year?
I think we're mostly staying at home. Me and my wife have a agreement with each other that we're not doing conventions anymore. Because we used to do a lot. Then we stopped, and like honestly, neither of us like them doing them that much. So I mean, it could be good for publicity and getting the word out and meeting people and stuff like that. That part's fun. But getting ready for a convention, setting up, is not so fun. Also, sitting there for all day.
I've done that before, so I understand you, Sean. 50%. You know what I mean? But thank you for doing what you do. You know what I mean? As an independent creator and continuing to do what you do, even after what you've been through. So salute. Thank you for continuing to exist and fighting through that. And and just keeping creating, man. You are absolutely amazing, and it was definitely a pleasure to hang out with you, man. Thank you again for your time. I truly appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Al. Have a good one.
You too, my brother. And with that, Crusaders, you know where it is. Check out comiccrusaders.shop and everything else within the Comic Crusaders family. Hasta la próxima, mi gente. ¡Huepa!
Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.com and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.